review the plan, potentially adopt it, and then set up your committee and initiate the process of drafting policies and prioritizing and holding public information sessions and then securing funding. And we included in the report some potential funding sources that we know of that we can help you secure as time goes by if you become ready to do any of this work. And I just wanted to show you this. This is what the city of Eastport did, and I was just there last night giving them the same report. They also formed a group at their school. They call it Eastport Sprocket Society, and one of the intents of their project was to give to the children a map that shows them how to get to school safely on their bikes. And so this is the map that they created with the information that we gathered, and the red, highlighted red is what they're. So they printed this out on like a large postcard size piece of paper, and they're handing it out to all the kids when they come to school. So kids now have it in their heads, this is how I can go and get to school safely. And Eastport is going to work on focusing on making improvements along the highlighted route in their community. So again, I just wanted to make sure that if there are any questions or concerns, comments, ideas, this is the time to hit me with them before we go any further with this project.
Does anyone have any questions? Could we have the lights back on, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. Where they live. Well, we looked at the one of the first maps that I showed you, which I come back to really like, with all of the dots that were the houses and the symbols around them. No, we were focusing on the most dense population areas, the most amount of people live.
Right, but you have to keep in mind that the next 72 square miles is way out.
Right, and
where are these kids? Are they in town walking to school, or do they have to be bused?
no, this particular project is really just focused on the downtown area and looking at the 1/4 mile radius where the most people are most likely to walk from their homes to a destination. And you're absolutely right that there are people who live outside of that area, and if the community would like in the future, we're happy to work further and to branch out with this information and provide more information. But for the purpose of this, it was really just focused on the downtown area where we're closest to the schools.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood at the beginning. I thought you said you were invited by the school to work on this project.
Yes.
As a children.
Yes, but it was focused on the kids within walking distance of the school.
And we don't know how many.
I don't know the number. No. I'm sorry. Did you ask me the number?
No, it's
Okay.
where they live.
Okay. Yes. And I don't know that answer to that, but it is a limited study. That is true. Do you guys have anything you'd like to?
Wanted to say that a grant was written last year. Heather Henry and I wrote it, and a part of that grant was an assessment with an employee of the DOT, and the sidewalks that we had felt were the most needed to be repaired didn't make his list of the ones we should seek funding for. So at this point, the funding for that has been suspended. But if they open the funding back up, we're in line for that, and that would be for Washington Street from Flatiron Corner to the post office, and then on Main Street, halfway up down to Water Street for the opposite side where there's only partial sidewalk.
Mm-hmm. So for an extension of the existing. And were those sidewalks specifically called out in this? Did you see those? actually called out.
They were given a better grade.
Better grade than you would have given.
Than what the state representative
Okay.
did.
Okay.
We had other ones chosen, and he urged us to go for funding for those. They would have rated higher when they were evaluated.
Okay, then I think what I would like to do is get in touch with you and or Heather and get some of the information that you included in that and make sure that we highlight it here, because again, the community can use this in the future for leveraging grant funds and say, you know, we have this plan, we have this investment outline of how we want to focus. So you can use this to your advantage, but it would be best if everything lines up properly. Okay, so I'll meet with you or Heather. Does it matter? I know Heather probably
I
actually.
can send you the grant and
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You mentioned if you had a report for people to have.
Yes, I do. I've only printed out one that I was going to leave with the Board of Selectmen folks because there's a lot of color and photographs and stuff, and before, we know that it's going to be changed probably several times, so before we printed out a lot of copies.
Can we have that
Yeah.
copy, make copies for the public?
This is for you. Sure.
Thank you.
And we can also, this is also available online. It's on the Council of Governments website. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that. So everything is on the website except for the section that has all the photographs that I was showing you. Those files are so large, we couldn't get them onto the website. But everything else, the report, the maps,
The
are all on the
report for
website.
Lubec.
Yeah, yeah, and I can print out and send more copies of the photographs if that seems to be something that you guys would like. Or you can contact me directly. You go to the website and download the report. There's your phone number there. If you want to call and say, hey, send me a copy. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got a number of people indicated they wanted to discuss fireworks and a possible fireworks ordinance in Lubec. I presented some letters that I received and some emails in your packets tonight.
Is there any way you could put the further down and do some of the other stuff like open sand bids and sign sewer commitment and that type of stuff? Would that be okay with the board? Since we seem to be running kind of late.
You're not doing too bad, really. I
No.
don't think this is gonna take a long time.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
Okay, Jean Bieber was one individual that wanted to speak.
Is it better that I stand here, or, because I know,
Wherever you're most comfortable.
I just didn't want to have my back toward the rest of
It's
the
okay.
audience. I'll come up here. My name is Jean DeBever and I live on Monument Street. I know that you've received quite a few emails regarding this item, fireworks. And I know in the scheme of things, some people feel that maybe bringing this forth may not be such the big thing that we should be addressing, but I think it segues into a couple of issues. Tonight I was pleased to hear concerns about insurance and liability in the town. I was also pleased to hear about spotlighting the town and feeling pride in the town. I feel a great deal of pride in the town, that's why we chose to come here. I think fireworks and the lack of any ordinance right now, the state of Maine has put forth a law right now that has very few parameters. I think the issue today, and I'm sure as governors and managers of the town, public safety is a huge issue here. In addition to fire safety, the noise element. So I'm here to ask that the town consider putting an ordinance together. And I've given examples of some of the towns in Maine currently who are putting an ordinance together prohibiting fireworks, period, unless it was under the guise of people who can appropriately handle the fireworks and stipulating a certain day when fireworks can be set off. Right now I find it's an annoyance to find them on your property, and today you can have them going off at any time from 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock at night. I have an elderly mother living with me. She's 93, and unless the town takes the responsibility here as managers of the town, because I know that you're elected, you need to look at this as a bigger issue. Some have said in their emails, how can you enforce that? There are many suggestions. We don't have a sheriff in the town right now. I understand that this was decided a couple of years ago. I don't think it makes the town beautiful or spotlighting a town where there is no policing. So the fireworks issue, I think, is a bigger issue. And I would like the town to consider this and to tell me how they would like to address it.
If I may, I'd like to bring everybody up to speed. If no one's aware of the fact that for the longest time, Maine was firework dry, even though they were getting them out of state and bringing them in. Now you can buy them legally. There are guidelines to the purchase and use of fireworks as set forth by the fire marshal's office. And I'm sure all of you are well aware that if we decide to embark on creating an ordinance, it won't be voted on by the people until next August. So there is time to craft some common sense approach to the firework issue. I had a conversation with someone the other day, I won't mention who they are, but they agreed with me that it's a celebration. Now we can fire them off again. So for the first year, they're going crazy. Next year, they might not. If the state was to put a really big tax on fireworks, they'd probably go off even less. But we've got to do something in our little town. So what you're suggesting is an ordinance. So an ordinance needs to make sense. I agree with 4th of July, the weekend before, the weekend after. Rain dates for fireworks use. New Year's, where I'm from, on New Year's, a lot of people light off fireworks.